Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.
Hello and welcome to Capes on the Couch, where comics get counseling. I'm Anthony Sitko.
And I'm Dr. Issues.
This is issue 116. This is the culmination of our Bat March, our month-long celebration of all things Dark Knight. And we have decided to bring you the longest skit we've ever done, because if there was ever a character that was going to require more than just 10 minutes on the couch with Doc, it's the goddamn Batman.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to everybody who's participated and just sort of followed us on this journey along the past 4 episodes and interacted with us, our comments in our Discord, our comments in our fan group on Facebook. We appreciate getting all the feedback and hearing how the different views and aspects of the character have really resonated with the fans. We had the whole fan episode. Obviously, talking to Dr. Langley and Ben was a great time. And then watching the Batman Michael Keaton film and doing the commentary on that. I just kind of feel it's all led to this moment. And, before we get started real fast, I just want to say thank you to our new mayor patron, Ben. Ben, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your support. You can be cool like Ben. And if you go to patreon.com/capes on the couch, you can subscribe and unlock all manner of additional content, exclusive early access, uncensored material, access to monthly bloopers. So there's some really cool stuff. And if you become a mayor patron like Ben, we'll send you a sticker. So Doc and I want to say that we worked. I don't want to hype this too much, but Doc and I think, worked hard on this. I will also give the sort of little caveat that this is not a full hour. I know we had been talking and saying, we're going to do an hour-long skit. Over the process of writing, we found that if we wanted this to be an hour, there was going to have to be a hell of a lot of padding. And it didn't make sense to have a whole bunch of additional superfluous material in there just to say, look, we wrote an hour. Also, we're not professional writers. And
who knew?
We have day jobs. So I still think what you're getting is leaps and bounds more than any other character has gotten in terms of insight and depth into the character. So apologies in advance if you were expecting the full hour. I'm sorry, we could not deliver, but I'd rather give you condensed goodness than padded out badness. Anybody who's been watching any number of the quality television shows as of late understands that I'd rather have 8 to 10 really good episodes than 22 episodes of filler.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we looked at this. Yep. We'd rather give you a tight, limited series than, hey, let's fill 22 hours or, 22 episodes of crap that we could probably condensed into 15.
Or we could have done that and just called it the Snyder Cut.
Oh, shots fired. I have sat through all 4 hours of that. It took me 4 nights to do it. All I'll say is, narratively, it's far more cohesive than the theatrical version, but there is no good reason that it had to be 4 hours. You could have easily cut that down to 2 hours and change and still had a solid movie. We did not need to see the cast of The Wicker Man singing to Aquaman and sniffing his sweater.
Yeah, but it adds flavor.
And that flavor is fish. That's what his sweater smells like. Beer and fish. There's no good reason that she needs to be sniffing it. This is not that kind of a show. We're not meant to go off on the Snyder Cut. I'm sorry. I was just engaged in a lengthy Twitter conversation earlier today with other podcasts about it. So 3 years have been building to this. So let's not beat around the bush any further. Let's see what happens when we get Batman on Dr. Issues' couch.
Good evening, Mr. Wayne. I'm Dr. Issues. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me.
Nice to meet you.
I understand that you were reluctant to talk.
Don't take it personally, Dr. Issues. Master Bruce is reluctant to speak to humanity. Thank you for proving my point, sir.
And thank you, Mr. Pennyworth. I'll handle it from here.
I still don't like the idea of sitting idly for an hour. I don't consider this sitting idly, sir. And might I remind you, Master Clark has offered to spend the night in the city. Well, he doesn't know. And Master Dick and Master Damien are on patrol. Yes, and Miss Barbara has been monitoring online chatter, and tonight is expected to be a quiet evening, which makes it the perfect opportunity for someone to try something. Yes, for you to try speaking to Dr. Issues. I'll leave you two alone, but I'll be locking the door. You know I have the key, right? Are you sure of that, Master Bruce? Good luck with him, Dr. Issues. So. So do you start this or do I?
Oh, we've already started. The clock began when Alfred left.
So I've been paying you for silence.
Yep.
And how much am I paying you?
I didn't think someone like you concerned yourself with the cost of anything.
Although my parents left me more than comfortable, it behooves me to keep an eye on financials. Otherwise, I wouldn't have what I have.
Then let's just say what this hour is costing you would be considered a rounding error in your company's financials.
I see.
Well, we don't have to sit in silence. Feel free to talk about anything.
I suppose you want me to start talking about my dead parents, or my desire to dress like a bat. That's pretty standard fare for your profession.
If this were a movie, sure. I could get Freudian on you and say that you entered a pre-Oedipus stage and therefore never even had the chance to struggle with adult transitions, let alone you had a clear path to get stuck on the anal phase leading to excess retention, Then there's the Skinner-style behavioral response that you use on villains to elicit a fear reaction before ever having to throw a punch. It goes on and on.
I see.
Well, luckily for you, psychoanalysis and psychiatry have made astounding progress in the last 150 plus years, and we don't just go around blaming everything on your parents, even though you have legitimate basis for trauma associated with them.
And there it is.
There what is?
Blaming things on my parents' die.
I did no such thing.
You just said.
What I said is absolutely true, and no amount of posturing is going to deviate from the simple fact that watching your parents die was traumatic. Now, we could sit here and discuss how that trauma impacted you and whether you've developed healthy coping mechanisms, your nocturnal vigilantism notwithstanding. But I refuse to sit here and say that what you went through as a child had no effect on you whatsoever. And I know you don't believe that either. I'm not oversimplifying things and saying everything comes back to that singular moment. But I'm also not going to act like it's not a factor. How we proceed from here is up to you.
This is ridiculous. I'm not just going to sit here while you lecture me on things I already know.
So don't. No one's forcing you to stay here, least of all me.
Alfred is, or at least he thinks he is.
You have the key. You can leave at any time. Now, whether that's going to weigh on you or not, that's entirely up to you.
Trust me, Doctor. Of all the myriad things to weigh on my mind any given moment, walking out on this session would not rank in the top 1,000.
That few, huh? Okay, then. Of those 1,000, how many are you like to discuss right now? We certainly won't be able to address all of them in this session, but I'm sure if we make this a regular thing.
Let's get one thing straight. Consider yourself grateful you're even getting this hour with me. The only reason I even agreed to this in the first place is because...
Because what? Let's hear it. Frankly, I was stunned when Alfred called me to tell me to book you. I had to check the caller ID to make sure it wasn't a prank. I even had Dick confirm it. So I'd love to hear the reason why, after circling around with literally everyone else you know, you finally said yes.
You haven't spoken to literally everyone I know. For one thing, you haven't met with Stephanie.
You know what I mean. Out with it.
It almost seems silly to say it out loud.
I promise you, regardless of what you may think and despite whatever's been said already, what's discussed here is truly 100% confidential. There's no judgment.
It's Selena.
Because she broke off the engagement?
No, not that. Well, not entirely because of that. It's what she said in her letter. She called me an engine that turns pain into hope. And that if we got married, if I found happiness, that it would kill the engine. Kill
Batman.
Yes.
So you think she's wrong?
No. And that's the problem.
How so?
This thing I do, all of this. I don't do it because I want to do it. I do it because I have to do it. But it's not all I have to do. And it's certainly not all I want to do.
So what do you want to do?
And that's just it. I've spent my entire life working towards a goal without end, pushing aside any distractions because I believed that it was worth it. That if I was so laser focused on this goal, no one else would have to go through what I've been through. But over a long time of doing this and seeing others, Clark, Dick, other heroes, seeing them find love and still keep on fighting harder because of that love. It honestly made me question if I could still be effective while letting someone in or doing something else while still being Batman. I've had the occasional dalliances with affection and letting others in. Talia, Silver, Jezebel, and yes, Selena. But it's not like I really have hobbies.
Have you tried Sudoku?
Very funny.
Well, I'm glad you managed to find time for at least some sense of humor.
Intellectually, yes, but as I've said to someone else in a different way, we don't get to joke. Aside from Barry, that is.
Well, that's self-imposed.
Of course it is. I know that you've noticed in your training, as well as anyone else in law enforcement or military, you have to keep a straight face. The looser you get, the tighter your adversary gets control over you.
But this is me, so do I fall into that category? Am I an adversary?
Of course not.
Is Selena?
No.
A subtle difference in the answer there, and I can guess why, but that's not the point of this.
There's something there, something I'm missing. When I disagree with someone, I don't leave room for hesitancy. The only thing that changes my mind is new facts, not opinions, facts. Selena presents things as facts, but they're not. And yet,
You have a hard time saying no.
again, not exactly. I've drawn a line several times. She dances along, but she knows where I stand. And I know where she stands now. That's where it's supposed to end.
Is that what you want?
Doesn't matter what I want. It's what the world needs.
Whoa. You're pulling out a defensive line like that when you're so close to getting a decent answer for yourself.
I've learned that looking for those kinds of answers only leads to more questions. Those questions only lead to hesitancy and conviction. I can't afford that. And before you go there, yes, I'm aware of what I can monetarily afford. This isn't about soap opera drama.
At this point, I've taken the hint. I'm not going to try and make light of what you're saying. No intentional puns. That's That's my way of showing that I'm listening to every word a person says. Maybe it's my own defense mechanism. I'll adapt. Yeah, I guess I should have taken that into consideration given the nature of whom you have to deal with.
That's something you could have picked up from any of the people that you've had to deal with.
Touché.
That reminds me, you pointed out that you wanted to talk to me well before this, as if I didn't know what was going on. You're not above trying out some outlandish things. I don't know if the people you've worked with are truly better off for it.
That cuts deep. Do you have an example that you're willing to share? Facts?
Fact. You've been threatened and should be dead based on what some patients have done to you. Fact. You didn't cure Dick of his vanity. Fact. Selena still thinks she's smarter than you. Fact. Alfred has taken the same number of vacation days as last year, which is to say 0.
I get it. And while I won't try to dispute any of what you said, I will say that each patient has their own right to self-determination. Fact. Alfred still wanted you to see me and made arrangements above and beyond what would be expected for an introductory session that wasn't court mandated. Fact. You want to keep getting better in every way. Fact. You could end this whenever you wanted, and you haven't. Fact. You just questioned my credibility after I challenged your emotional goal.
I don't need my emotional goals challenged. I need my emotions finely tuned, honed. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
You don't want surprises. What you feel, you want to match reality. Input matches output.
Something like that.
You've shown some emotions even if you're not trying to show it, but Bruce, I can't make you happy.
I'm not even close to asking for that.
To clarify, I don't think you'll ever be satisfied.
Is that one of those Hamilton references I was warned about?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm impressed you even. Man, I already said I don't do. I wouldn't do puns. As I said, I have certain coping mechanisms, and obviously you have done more research than even I would anticipate. Which also tells me that you have more interest in this than your cold shoulder lets on. Why are we going back and forth like this? Why are you opening up slightly and then pulling back? I'm not asking you to trust me with everything. I'm just asking you to just trust me for a few minutes.
No offense, but even trusting you for a moment is more than I'm willing to do with most people. You didn't think you'd be able to just come here even after speaking with all those other people, some of my friends and confidants, and expect I would just start talking?
Well, not entirely open. I mean, I certainly know better than that. But I did assume, however, that the trust your teammates and confidence have placed in me would earn me some measure of goodwill.
That got you in the door. It's going to take more than that to get more out of me. Frankly, I think I'm hardly the most difficult patient you've dealt with.
Difficult. Interesting choice of words there. Every patient is different. I don't really think of things in terms of overall difficulty. Some patients don't understand the questions or want to keep it superficial. Others want to, pierce the veil and they get too deep, too fast. You're neither. This is closer to a traditional conversation than a typical treatment introduction. And honestly, it's your style. It mandates as such.
You're the professional in this realm. I don't run anything.
Then will you actually delegate the responsibility of a treatment plan to me?
If I agree with it, maybe.
Then I'll gladly give you a list of other professionals available and you can find the one that's best for you.
That doesn't sound like you have much confidence in treating me in the first place.
Oh, to the contrary, I'm I'm pretty confident that I can help you in my own way, and other therapists may be able to assist you in their own approach. So, what's that saying? There are many roads to Dublin, but for some people, some quirks are deal breakers.
There is no quirk within your purview that could break me.
Good, because as you can see, my style isn't exactly militant. I may work in locked facilities, but I'm the gentle hand.
Or a pushover.
Oh, I'll hold my ground because those I work with trust that I want what's best. No one gets restrained unless all other options are exhausted. Some people don't realize that the pain they're experiencing is a consequence of their own acts. And that was long before I would ever come on the scene. Does that sound familiar to you?
More than a little. But understand that the reason you're in the position that you are is because you went to school. You sacrificed hours, days, years of your life that most people don't understand. I've done the same, even if I don't seek the same credentialing that you would expect. But what if that doesn't stop? You may have a few hours of listening you have to do every year, a couple of classes. But what if residency were never over? What if your expectation to make it someday just means that you're the chief resident level of responsibility with first-year intern level of hours? What then?
That's a little creepy how well you know the medical system to come up with that analogy. I get what you're throwing down. Are you trying to relate to me? Is this how you deal with strangers in a non-threatening way?
First off, let's not forget my father was a doctor, but I'm also letting you know that I know you better than you know yourself. If you're going to get into my head, I'm going to get into yours.
What a contrast. I thought you said you don't control anything. It's another ploy on your part. But honestly, I don't want inside your head. I want what's going to give you a healthier result. Please, I'm begging at this point. If you just...
Damn it, not now.
Oh, man. This crap again. I'm used to it. If you have to go...
There's a one-way transmitter that should be able to send out a frequency only Clark can hear. Do not engage alone. I repeat, do not. Hello? Hello? He's going to get himself killed.
I'm sorry. I understand.
We are not done. We may have to stop, but this is not over.
You don't have to yell at me about it.
Dick, tell me you got a hold of Damien. Not a breach, just an echo from a past boom tube. I want a full status report tonight of how residual feedback can mimic an entire apocalypse assault. Get Barbara if you have to. This shouldn't be possible since I shut down Brother Eye. And get Superman to investigate the source of the signal. I'll be there as soon as I can.
I don't know what just happened, but I'm glad you calmed down a little.
You need to have more than one VPN established for this building. Your charts may be compromised. Looking at my watch, I can see your heart rate is matching mine. That's surprising since you don't have the type of training I do. You're sweating now, though. Clearly, this is distressing to you. You're not a target. You should be safe.
You don't need to reassure me. I knew the risk when I started this. Do you need some reassurance for yourself?
What? No.
Do you need reassurance for Damien? Dick? Barbara? Clark?
I don't know what that means.
It means that you have a job to do and you just threw everything else on your mind away in an instant. I admire the dedication, but what can I do to help you now? If I understood any of that jargon, it's that the crisis is averted.
For now.
Okay, but we both have the residual psychosomatic output. What do you do to cool down?
Believe it or not, lean management.
The business term? Excuse me?
It's a business management system. Small changes for constant improvement. It's the one thing I've taken from Lucius being at Wayne Enterprises for so long. No blame, just finding inefficiencies and doing our best not to replicate mistakes of the past.
You do realize that you just described the goal of therapy, right? I have no idea how I'm going to integrate this, but you have a complex layer of thoughts going on, and your task switching could use some work. So Tell me a metric for how quickly you want to get back to baseline breathing and heart rate, and we'll come up with a template that'll synergize your need to fight with the need to delegate in a way that'll give you more time to yourself and create a paradigm-shifted superheroing.
Now you just sound like a mock business guru, and I've sat through far too many of those meetings.
Well, at least I got you back to you being you pretty quickly. I can't be the only one to notice this about you, right?
Just Alfred and Dick and Damien and Tim and Barbara and Selena.
Got the point. 3 sessions.
What?
Give me 3 sessions. I don't know. It just feels like we'll be able to get somewhere in that arc and see what gains you've made.
Fine. I suppose this is worth another rounding error, as you put it. I assume you'll coordinate with Alfred on the schedule.
Well, I prefer scheduling with my clients directly so I know they're appreciative of the importance of the therapy. You understand, some rules can't be broken.
All too well. Fair enough. Here you go.
What's this?
This is the way you can contact me.
Is this really a bat?
It's a burner phone.
Oh.
Fine. It's the bat phone.
Yes! Yes! I knew it! Yes! Yes!
If you abuse this even once, it's done. Understand?
Yes. Yes. Totally. Can I at least take a picture of it to show Anthony?
No.
Okay. I get the idea. Do you play Words with Friends?
Give me the phone.
Can I slide down the bat pole?
We're done here.
But the hour's not a...
Get out, or I'll throw you out.
Can I take a picture with the giant penny?
Out. Well, that wasn't quite the hour, but sounds like it was worth your time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can't disclose certain things that also happened off the record. You know, he really knows his martial arts. I don't think I'll ever be able to sit properly again.
Oof, that sounds rough.
Yeah, I mean, demonstration, not attacking.
Still, though, that sounds painful.
Yeah.
But at least you're not Two-Face or Penguin or the Riddler or even Kite Man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe I should have collaborated with Hugo Strange or something.
There you go. We'll get around to him one of these days, too. So that's going to do it for this slightly shorter episode. But again, we figured a half-hour skit is still 20 minutes more than we've given anyone else. And it was worth it to cover Batman. I hope you enjoyed my pseudo Kevin Conroy impression.
That's pretty good.
I knew I had to get a little gritty there, and I didn't want to go full bail on the Bat voice. Nobody needs to go that deep. Where is she? I don't want to get into the full, swear to me. The Batman Begins was okay. The Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, it just became parody levels. So this is going to do it for Bat March. Next week, Elastigirl. And just a complete 180 mood whiplash turnaround. Just, nope, we're just throwing all that out the window.
Yep.
And then we get into Black Mask, as requested by Ariel, who check out her columns on our website, capesonthecouch.com. Look for the long box view. And then to tie into the season finale of Falcon and Winter Soldier, we're going to cover John Walker, U.S. agent and one-time Captain America, who the memes have been flying on Twitter after the first episode. My personal favorite was America's ass, America's asshole.
Wow.
I did not know, by the way, that the actor playing John Walker is Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son.
Huh. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that. I did not know that.
So I thought that was really cool. What I thought was not cool was the people who were attacking Wyatt Russell for playing John Walker, a replacement Captain America. Like these fans on social media are unable to delineate the character from the actor.
Yeah, that's actually pretty common in most situations. Soap operas get it pretty heavy, soap opera villains or the actors and actresses playing them get pretty dangerous situations because of it.
Yeah, and I remember everything that happened with Star Wars. Kelly Marie Tran was bullied because of Rose's character, and Brie Larson took a lot of flack for playing Captain Marvel. It's just sad. And I mean, I could go on a soapbox about all of this and just how I think it dilutes the quality of conversations that we can have. And, like I posted a column recently that went up on Adventures in Poor Taste about fandom. I spoke about this very thing with respect to WandaVision. It's okay to not like something, but there comes a point when you cross a line of decency and being able to separate your own personal feelings from what's being presented on the screen. And I think that people's inability to do that is creating a lot of problems. And I was speaking in that column primarily about folks who had built up their expectations of what they thought WandaVision was going to be. And then when the finale didn't meet those fan-cooked theories, they're thusly disappointed. But similarly, if you have a character that you care a lot about and someone plays the character in a way that's different from what you expected or what you anticipated, it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to not like it. It is not okay to harass and harangue anybody because of your personal disappointment, because then it is no longer their problem. That's a you problem. How they're playing the character is not their problem. It's your problem. So I'll get off my soapbox because this isn't really the time or the place for that. I don't know how many people are still even listening to the end of this episode at this point. Anyway, so you can find all of our episodes on our website, capesonthecouch.com. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Capes on the Couch. You can email us, capesonthecouch@gmail.com. And please like, rate, and subscribe and review us. If you listen to us on a platform like Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, and you leave us a lovely review or even a terrible review, and you email us at capesonthecouch@gmail.com with a screenshot of that review and your address, we will send you a sticker as a way of saying thank you, because those ratings and reviews help get us in front of more eyeballs or ears, as the case may be, and that helps us to grow. So that's going to do it for Batman. I would say I'm done talking about Batman for a while, but we're going to be back here in 2 weeks talking about Black Mask, because Ariel is Ariel.
Hey man,
but we're done talking about the character, at least for a while.
I was gonna say, now just to put this in perspective, and it's more just for us, the amount of effort that it took for us just to write this skit ends up being a little longer than a half-hour TV show. Now, imagine having to do that every week.
Yeah. And again, we're not professionals, and they have teams of writers. Unless it's British TV, then it's like one person doing everything themselves. And that's why there's only 6 episodes in a season. So that's going to do it. Thanks to everybody for enjoying our Bat March. We'll maybe do something a little different next year for our 4th birthday. And maybe we'll revisit The Dark Knight once again. But for Doc Issues, I'm Anthony Sitko. Thanks for listening, I'll see you next week.
Capes on the Couch podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Dr. Issues is a psychiatrist, but he is not your psychiatrist and does not have knowledge of your individual situation. For any personal mental health concerns, please consult your own healthcare providers. For medical emergencies, please call 911 or the designated number in your area immediately. Remember that you are not alone and help is out there.